New lesson, right? Make sure that you have your paper and pencil out, ready to copy down these notes, right? So here we go. So the first thing that we always do is we identify the name of these notes, right? And the name of these notes are multiplying and dividing scientific notation, right? So we're going to divide, multiply, and divide scientific notation, okay? So the instructions say, simplify, right? Write each answer in scientific notation. Okay, simple enough. All right, let's get to it here. So the first one here, right? So we have 3 times 10 to the power of 2, right? Or quantity, right? Whenever we have parentheses, we say quantity 3 times 10 to the power of 2 times quantity 1.94 times 10 to the power of 7, right? So those are big numbers. So imagine if we had 300, so this is 10 to the power of 2, times 194 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we had to multiply those two. Even in the calculator, that's annoying, right? That's annoying. Even in the calculator, it's annoying. So what we're going to do is we're going to use scientific notation shortcuts, right? Scientific notation shortcuts to figure this out, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply regular number times regular number, right? So we are going to say parentheses 3 times 1.94, right? Regular number times regular number. Then we're going to multiply 10 to the exponent times 10 to the exponent, right? So we're going to say 10 to the power of 2 times 10 to the power of 7, right? So 3 times 1.94, guys, I'm going to use my tools and I'm going to use my calculator right here. 3 times 1.94. 94, I get 5.82. Okay? So I got 5.82 times, right? I have to write it in scientific notation. 10. Now, remember, when my bases are the same, 10 and 10 are the same, and I'm multiplying, I add my exponents. 2 plus 7. And 2 plus 7 is 9. So that right here, kiddos, let me move it down over here like this. This right here is my final solution. Right here, like that. So when I multiplied these two scientific notations, I got this right here. Perfect. I simplified it and I wrote it in scientific notation. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Let's try another one. Let's try the second one here. Okay. So I see two scientific notations are multiplying because parentheses next to parentheses means multiply. So I'm going to do regular number times regular number. 5.5 times 2.95. Okay. 5.5. Right. Times 2.95. And separately, I'm going to do the exponents. 10 to the 5th times 10 to the 8th. Right? And I'm actually going to move this over a little bit because I have room here. Look at that. Okay. I have room just like this. All right. So, sorry about that. That was weird. So, I have these right here. So, let's use our calculator for this right here. 5.5 times 2.95. So, let me clear this. 5.5 times 2.95. And that gives me 16.225. All right. 16.225. 16.225 times, I'm going to write this in scientific notation form, right? So I'm going to put it over here. If I have my same bases, I have 10 and 10, and I'm multiplying, I add my 5 and my 8. That 8 should have been on the inside, by the way. That was an accident. So it's 10 to the 13th power. But remember, kiddos, this scientific notation, this decimal has to be between the first two numbers. Right here, it's between the second and third number. It's got to be between the first and the second. Simple enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my decimal over here so it can be here now. So when I write it down now, it's going to be 1.6225 times 10. Now here's the trick. I moved my decimal one time. One time. So that's going to affect this 13 here. So what I'm doing is I'm adding an extra, because remember, these are the number of digits after the decimal. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then 10 more to make 13, right? But I am adding one digit here, right? Because it's going to be, if the decimal's here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of just 1, 2, 3, I'm adding 1. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add 1 to my exponent. And I get 13 plus 1 is 14. And that right here, kiddos, is my solution right there. That is my solution. Okay? So I had to add the 1 because I moved this decimal right here one time. Now, if you notice on number 1, you're thinking, Mister, you didn't move anything on number 1, because check it out. This was already 5.182. The decimal is already between the first and the second number. There's no need to move it. But on the second example, the decimal was between the second and third. So I had to move it here so it could be between the first and the second. Okay? So, there we go. That's multiplying right there. Look at that. Those two are multiplying, right? Scientific notation. So let us do the third example, which you notice this is division, right? Division. So let us do some division here. So the same idea that we did here, right? We multiplied regular number times regular number. Where, well, here we're going to divide regular number divided by regular number. So we're going to say 8.3 divided by 4.17, right? And that's going to give us something. And then on the side here, I'm going to divide 10 to the third power over 10 to the ninth power, just like that. So again, kiddos, let's use our tools. Let's use our calculator here. So we're going to say, let me go back here, 8.3 divided by 4.17. 8.3 divided by 4.17. That gives me 1.99. You see the 0 right here? I'm going to stop right there. All right, once I see your 0, I'm going to stop. These guys, I'm not going to include them. I'm going to say 1.99. So I get 1.99 times 10. I have the same bases and I'm dividing. So I'm going to subtract 3 minus 9. 3 take away 9. Well, 9, they're different signs, and I have to subtract. 9 minus 3 is 6. And since I did 3 minus 9, I'll do it over here on the side here, like this. And 9 is bigger than 3, and 9 is a negative. That means that this 6 is going to be a negative, just like this. Okay? So I already have my decimal between my first and second numbers. So let me write this down just like that. And look at that, kiddos. That is my solution for my division. I divided scientific notation, right? Perfect. And I wrote it in scientific notation. So perfect. So let us do our second example here. Let's pick a different color. Let's go with this one here. So again, I'm dividing, scientific notation, right? So let us divide 3.2 divided by 9, right? Regular number divided by regular number. And let us divide 10 to the negative 4 over 10 to the negative 3. Just like this, okay? So again, let us use our calculator for that. 3.2 divided by 9. Let us clear there. 3.2 divided by 9 gives us 0.35 and a bunch of 5, right? So I'm going to stop at 0.356. So I'm going to say 0.356, just like that, times, right? So here, remember, when I'm dividing the same base, I can subtract the exponents. So here on the side, I'm actually doing negative 4 minus negative 3, just like this. Negative 4 minus negative 3. Let's remember that whenever we have negative, negative, like right here, they become positive, positive, right? Negative, negative becomes positive, positive. Now I have different signs, so 4 minus 3 is 1, and 4 is bigger and 4 is a negative, so I get, oops, wrong color. I get 10 to the negative 1, just like that. Just like that. But, kiddos, we notice here the 3 is not between the first two regular numbers, that not 0, right? 0 is 0. 0, I'm not counting as a regular number. I need this decimal to be right here. So how do I get from here to here? I'm going to move to the right one time, right? So let's move to the right one time. I'm going to move one time over here like that, and I'm going to leave it right there. So my new scientific notation is 3.56. 3.56 times 10 to the power of. Now the question is, do I add 1 or do I subtract 1? Well, let's take a look up here. When I went to the left one, I added 1. See? Again, when I went to the left one, I added 1. So that means that the opposite. When I go to the right one, I'm going to subtract 1. So when I go to the right one, I'm going to subtract 1 here. So I'm going to do minus 1 here. And now I have a negative 1 and a negative 1. They're the same sign, so I'm going to add them. 1 plus 1 is 2. And they're both negative, so this is going to be negative as well. And that right there, kiddos, is my solution. Look at that. That is my solution, right? So I had to move the decimal to the right one, so I subtracted 1. When I moved the decimal to the left one, I added 1, right? And there you go. Look at that. That's multiplying and dividing scientific notation. Make sure you got everything written down, right? And you're good to go. Rewind if anything. Slow down the video. All right? You're good to go. Thank you for being here. See you next time.